Hello everyone, so I apologize for the wind, which may or may not be bad. I feel like I kind of have you blocked. The reason I didn't put you like higher up today is because of the wind, so we're just going to be low, but we're doing it outside because why not? Anyway, we're on chapter 13 of Clarice Spells Chivel by Lauren Child. I hope you guys are still reading along because this is honestly a pretty good story. So, I mean, it is pretty good. I'm trying to like make it sound better. This is not working. Anyway, we're starting on page 130. Yes, we're already that far. And we're on chapter 13, like I said, and it's sometimes when you need things to get better, they just get worse. Of course, and remember, guys, get whatever you need to make yourself comfortable and ready to listen to this whole chapter with me. I'm so excited that you guys are here. And yeah, just get comfortable and grab your book if you have it. If not, that's totally fine. Just listen to me while you do your puzzles or eat your food or whatever. So let's do this. Of course, the next day I rush into school because I want to rescue my notebook before anyone finds it. Even though I'm making sure that this doesn't get into that. Okay, it gets in a little bit. Sorry. There's a thing that I'm like trying to protect it with is gonna flap in and out of screen. Okay, sorry. Of course, the next day, I rush into school because I want to rescue my notebook before anyone finds it, even though I have the key safe and sound around my neck. I don't want to risk anyone stealing it because, you see, it is the kind of thing that everybody would want, so it is tempting. The problem is, when I try to get around to the back playground, there is all this fencing stuff up, and that's when I remember Mr. Skipper's words. He said that this would happen and that the builders would come. So I have no choice. I will just have to wait, and maybe I will never see my ruby notebook ever again. Who knows? If that ever happens to you guys, just go to the office and ask someone to go retrieve it for you. After lunch, things go even more wrong, and something really bad happens. It all starts with Mr. Wilburton saying, "I hope everyone has remembered to bring in their homework, my weekend, because we are going to go around the class reading them all out loud." When she's saying this, Mrs. Wilburton, I thought Mr. Washington. "I hope everyone has remembered to bring in the homework, my weekend, because we are going around the class and reading them all out loud." When she says this, When she's saying this, she all the time has her beady eyes on Carl Renberry. Carl is just sitting there with his arms folded, not even opening his bag. When Mrs. Wilburton gets to him, she says, "Chop, chop, Carl, let's get on with it." Carl says, "No." Mrs. Wilburton says, "What do you think makes you so special?" He says, "Nothing." Mrs. Wilburton says, "Well then, we will start with you." Carl says, "Well, I'm not going to read anything because I didn't do it." Mrs. Wilburton says, "I sincerely hope I am hearing wrong because I seem to remember asking you in no uncertain terms to get it done." Carl says, "You can't make me write about my private stuff and I'm not going to." Mrs. Wilburton says, "You will do what I tell you to do, young man." Then Carl says, "I am not talking about my private visits to you, so stop being such a nosy Parker. I hate you. I hate this school." Then Carl goes completely demented and crazy and chucks all the things off his desk, and he throws his chair across the room, and he's screaming and screaming. And our class is all quiet, and Mrs. Wilburton goes very pale in the face and a bit shaky, and she says, "Now stop that at once, Carl," she said. But she doesn't say it very loud because she looks sort of shocked. And Carl is pulling his own hair, and he just says over and over, "No one gets to know my private stuff. No one. I decide who knows my stuff. It's my business, not yours." Mrs. Wilburton is panicking, rushes out of the class, and comes back in a minute with Mr. Washington. And Mr. Washington walks in all calmly, and he just says, "Carl, hey, why don't we go outside?" And he just stops all the shouting, just like that. And Carl looks at him and nods, and Mr. Washington says to Mrs. Wilburton, "I'll take it from here." Mrs. Wilburton just nods, because maybe she doesn't know what to say, and then they go out. No one says a word. A bit later, Mr. Pickering comes in and says, "Does anyone know what brought this on?" I don't say anything because I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, and although I know what has upset Carl Renberry, he told me not to tell, so I don't, but I sort of wish I had. Because how can anyone help if nobody tells? Oh wait, that was really short. Oh, look at how short this one is. Otherwise this might... I guess we can just leave it at that. It seems really short and random. But I kind of just want them to be separate so that it's not like, because otherwise this is going to be 20 minutes. So I'd rather have it shorter than longer. So anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching this chapter. And thank you guys. So I hope you'll probably move on to the next one. I don't know, but this was short and sweet. But anyway, thank you guys and continue to explore the amazing world that books create for us. And we thank the authors out there. And anyway, thank you guys. Bye.